Meteorologist Chase Menendez. He warns you first.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. We got through the weekend, and we've got some pretty special days coming our way. The 4th of July is not only just a couple of days away, and we've got a couple of changes coming our way before we get there. Namely, out to the southeast, we've got this real good low-pressure system. You can see that counterclockwise flow bringing a lot of rain down to the southeast. And while that does seem far away from us here in West Texas, it's actually really influencing our weather patterns. Notice these clouds rising up to the north and then tracking down to the south, making their way directly into the center of that low pressure. So that's going to be affecting our forecast for the next couple of days, pulling a lot of moisture out of the way. We really like moisture because it brings rain to us here. We saw a lot of that yesterday. A lot of thunderstorms moving on through the southern basin, parts of the northern basin, but again, just kind of going around Odessa, Midland. That is a little bit curious, kind of like what we're left over with is this one little thunderstorm moving on to the west, not really tracking down to the south, really just skirting that line right along our viewing area, staying south of Lubbock. Now, we'll switch over to the model here, but keep in mind, it's running pretty heavy-handed. Notice we're not really dealing with that much rain, and none of it is south of that border of our viewing area, so keep that in mind as we roll through the hours. It's likely to last for at least a little while, but by 9 a.m., I really expect a lot of that rain to dissipate. So 9 a.m. at the latest is when we'll see that rain begin to move out. I really think it'll move out before then. But either way, once we get to this afternoon, this model's still running a little bit heavy-handed. Notice this red blip right here, right around Fort Stockton. I don't expect us to see anything that heavy in terms of rainfall, but I do expect us to see some isolated scattered thunderstorms developing there at some of the higher elevations as we get on into this afternoon. By 4 p.m., most of us out to the west dealing with a lot of that rain. Now, most of it I think is going to go around Odessa, Midland. This model, again, running really heavy-handed. I don't expect any of that to track this far to the east. We might see some in the northern basin, some thunderstorms, not really looking too heavy in terms of that rainfall potential. Really, Odessa, Midland, I think is just going to stay dry today and even pretty sunny. We're not likely to see too much in the way of cloud cover by this afternoon, so that'll keep our temperatures warming up. 97 by 4 p.m., but that's not our high. Our high coming up just a little bit after that. Wind speeds right around that 10 to 15 mile per hour zone, leading us to a clear night, but that rain not likely to become severe. That's great news. I don't expect us to see any in Odessa, Midland. Mostly the higher elevations out to the west have a good chance for that, but not a good chance to see any severe weather. In fact, we're real far away from the source of that energy. That is good news. That means we're not dealing with a chance for any large hail or damaging winds. We may see some small hail at the worst, especially with all this heat energy that we've got. 100 degrees is what we reached yesterday. Today, cooling down just a tiny bit. 99 is our high there, just well above average, but not too bad. Nowhere near that record set in 1989. Thankfully, that one is going to stand for one more year. Now, as far as those wind speeds go, we'll be hanging right around that 15 mile per hour mark for Odessa, Midland. Again, staying dry here in Odessa, Midland, but at the higher elevations, we've got a good chance to see some of those isolated, some of those scattered thunderstorms, possibly containing some really small hail, but the chance for that not even that high. 99 degrees by this afternoon for Odessa, Midland, 98 for tomorrow, so we're cooling down just slightly day after day until Wednesday rolls around, and then we'll see our temperatures pick up into those triple digits again. 96 for Thursday, though, so then we quickly begin to decline. Friday, 91 degrees. That is pretty nice. Actually below average, I think, for the first time this season. I'll have to fact check that one, but it sounds right.
Double digits in the lower 90s, so nice compared to 109s, 108s that we've seen in the weeks past.
July 4th coming our way. There's a lot to look forward to here on the